Hello, my loves. I want to talk to you about this book, Blood Over Brighthaven, that I just finished today. But to be honest, I'm at a loss for words. I just finished it this morning and I've literally been staring at the wall, contemplating every single thing in life. I won't give any spoilers, but for a background, it's a dark academia and it follows our FMC who is accepted into a magic school. She is the first woman in centuries to be allowed to go and practice in this school, and it is only because she is such an insanely gifted, talented, and intelligent woman. I was not prepared for how confronting this book would be. This book focuses on some really heavy themes like misogyny, xenophobia, and racism. And I found these themes to be so confronting. There were times where I was filled with rage and sadness, feeling like so many things were just so heartbreaking and unjust. What I found really interesting about this read is I did not align at all with the FMC. In fact, I didn't like her for most of the book, and that is because the way that she thought and perceived other people was so confronting and at times disgusting to read. But then being able to see that the message underneath that is so profound and highlighting the way that we're brought up and the things that we're told is often what we interpret to be as truth. And in this book, truth was a really significant motive, where we got to witness the deconstruction of our FMC's internalized belief systems as she's being confronted with the truth. I ended up rating this book 4 stars. I do think it was probably the most well-written book I've ever read. However, what I know about myself and what I've learned about myself in this process is that I'm definitely a dopamine reader, and this book was not surging me with dopamine at all. Magic systems in this book is absolutely phenomenal. I've never seen anything written like this. However, for the first 150 pages, after that first incredible chapter, it's basically our FMC is in a lab explaining to her assistant how these magic systems work. And it is really difficult to get through those 200 pages of almost nothing happening. Of course, it all ends up being very relevant, but I definitely struggled with essentially the first half of the book. The second half was absolutely incredible, mind-blowing, had me on the floor, ugly crying, contemplating life, everything. So I am definitely recommending this book for everyone to read.